Welcome to Hoodies the podcast. We go deep with the blast.
We are on. Peace, what's going on? I want to welcome you all back to another dope-ass episode of Hoodies the podcast. I'm the host, the God Rashidi, your uncle. And before I get started, I want to put out a disclaimer. Well, before the disclaimer, I just want to say shout out to the collective. Black men, women, boys, girls, and especially the elders. Right? Alright, so here's my disclaimer. Right? In this podcast, I might be channeling my inner Corey Holcomb on this pod. I may be channeling my inner Corey Holcomb. Hey, I got different inners, right? I got an inner Malcolm. You know what I mean? I got an inner Marcus. I even got an inner Patrice O'Neal. I got an inner Kevin Samuels. I got an inner Ike Turner. I got an inner Talib Kweli, if you will. But today, right now, I'm channeling Corey Holcomb. Alright. Listen. I used to be locked up at the Simp County Jail. And I was in and out of Simp County. Mostly in. You know what I mean? Listen. It's not as bad as the Simp Town Penitentiary. Them niggas is wild. But here's my rap sheet. You know how niggas be talking about paperwork? Here's my paperwork. Back in 2008, I met a broad. Her name was I ain't putting no pics on or nothing like that on the screen. And I've talked about this a few years ago. I didn't go into much detail, right? But if you know the song, sing along. So listen. I was on my square. You know what I'm saying? Had my own thing going on. My little one-bedroom apartment. Well, let me not say that. Let me not say my little one-bedroom apartment. That was my shit in my one-bedroom apartment in Autumn Lakes Apartments. If you live in Newport News, uptown, the Denby area, it's off Warwick across the street from the Wawa, right? I was still building my brand, still building clientele. I was also in barber school as well. I was in the apprentice program. You know what I'm saying? And I met on MySpace. Okay? So she friended me, right? I can't remember the term that MySpace used, like when you connected with people. I know that Twitter and Instagram uses the term follow. You follow someone. So let's just use that for MySpace too, for this pod, right? So she followed me on MySpace. I returned fire. We conversed here and there, nothing major at first, until one day that changed. It might have been me who put some Texas Pete on it, you know, heated things up a little bit. She came through one day, almost smashed, but she fell back. She was like, nah, I can't. I'm a good girl. Let me stop. And to her credit, she wasn't a bird. She wasn't a bird. Not even in this instance. She just got charmed by the God. I told you, all it takes is a smile and a compliment. But anyway, time goes on. We get hot and heavy. And of course, eventually we do smash. Some feelings start to develop. All right? We had a spat once. You know what I mean? You know, I let her know that something that she said, you know what I mean, just wasn't going to be tolerated. I ain't sure what type dudes you used to dealing with, but that ain't me. You know what I mean? It's not me. She saw the error in her ways and she corrected herself. We're good again. Right? I was on my square. More time goes on. Then, why don't you move in with me? Instead of spending the night, stick around. I think about it. I figured I'll wait till my lease is up and then, yeah, I'll move in. I decided to move in. I'm feeling good. I'm on my square. Building myself up in business too. I move in. And the minute that I move in, it happened. Let me open up the tea for this. She was like, I can't believe I'm telling this shit. Yo, she was like, you should cut your pubic hairs. Because I want easy access when I slob on the knob. We go back and forth about it. But then the weirdest shit happened, man. The weirdest shit happened. I complied. That bitch had me walking around here like a 5th grader. How did I justify it? She a good woman. She the best. She deserved to be with a good man. She's special. She a good woman. She's special. Oh, man. Wow. Such a major crime against myself. And then, please, she wasn't even that good at giving toppy. Talking about she wanted access to slob on the knob. That's charge 1. All right. Another time within the same relationship with her, some broad that I was kind of cool with sent me a message on Facebook. Now MySpace is phasing out. And I, much like most people, made the switch to that social media platform, Facebook. The broad, this broad I'm talking about may have commented on one of my pictures and it might have been suggestive. Then it happened again. I don't think you should be on social media. We go back and forth about it. But then the weirdest thing happened again. I complied. That bitch had me delete my account. How did I justify it? She a good woman. She deserved to be a good man. She deserved to be with a good man. She's special. She's so special. I want her to feel secure in this relationship. Because she's special. Mind you, she was still on. It ain't like we both got rid of our accounts. She was still on. Then I noticed something. Right? She worked nights. I work days. When I come home, she's on her way out. If I was on my way out, she was just walking through the door. But when we both have a day off together, I noticed that when she would come home, of course, she would hit the shower. She would take a little time to read some scripture or whatever, while in her leopard print head wrap and some grandma panties on. Then would have the nerve to cop an attitude saying that I wasn't fucking her enough. Right? We went back and forth about it. I somehow allowed her to convince me that I was lacking in laying pipe. After 2 years in the county, I had to get out. Here's how I got out. Here's how I got out the county. Simp County. I realized you comply with one thing you don't like, you bleed a little. You know what I mean? You bleed a little. And when you bleed, your blood is now in the water. And sharks, they can taste that. It'll never stop. They'll never stop. I learned also, right, that maybe I'm seeing the woman that I dated as like a mother. My first girlfriend didn't tell me that she loved me. My mother. This ain't a blame game thing. This isn't that. You know what I mean? This is just follow me here, right? Maybe I was so hard up for a mother that maybe I complied with these bitches so that they would love me. Or at least tell me that they loved me. I don't know. You know what I mean? But if a bitch got you shaving your dick hairs, then she wasn't a bitch. I was. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, bitch. Hell no. I don't mind trimming my shit, but shave? The fuck out of here. That ain't happening. Okay? This is, of course, how it ended up. You know what I mean? How I ended up getting out of Simp County. I ain't deleting no account either. I set that broad straight. The one that sent me the message, I set her straight. You know what I mean? And I let her straight. Look, I'm not deleting my account. And I set that broad straight. I ain't fucking her. Dead ass, I wasn't fucking her. And speaking of fucking, how does a woman stop wearing all the sexy things that she used to wear in the beginning and still expect a man to still be as aroused as he was when they first met, when she was wearing all that shit? You know what I mean? What's sexy about grandma panties? Nothing. Men are visual creatures. Gonna complain about sex when shit, I do all the work anyway. I put in all the motherfucking work. That lasted for about a good 2 years, that whole relationship. Then I was free from Simp County Jail. I was out there free from the Simp County Jail. Not for long, though. Not for long. Again, it ain't as bad as the Simp Town pen. The niggas in there, yo, niggas in the Simp Town pen, you know what I'm saying, got swindled out of thousands of dollars just off the strength of the possibility of getting some pussy. Women came at them dudes like, hey, honey. Hey, sugar. Oh, you looking good today, handsome. Next thing you know, I'm trying to get my titties done and my ass done. You know what I'm saying? And these super simps comply. Thinking they must be getting something for it. Yo, it's rough in Simp Town. It's rough in the Simp Town pen. And listen, man, I'm saying all this about, my past relationships, and I know I'm not the only one. I had these conversations from time to time with men in my chair, but at the end of the day, really, it's really not that good to be putting all this out there, because that can look unattractive to women. To hear all the ways other women kind of ran over you. You know what I mean? It can be unattractive. Like, nigga, don't be trying to act like a man now. You know you want to rub my feet. You know what I mean? So I really shouldn't be putting this out there, but fuck it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? But Rod would do that, so hopefully you don't have to go through that. Listen, man. The moral of that story of me and is to say that there ain't no future in simping. You think giving and giving in, you think it'll make her love you. You think she deserves that. She doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Well, she doesn't deserve that. In fact, she'll lose respect for you. And it won't be her fault. If you giving and giving in and she loses respect for you, it's not her fault. It's your fault, because you're the one that's weak. You're weak. And she can't respect that. You got to learn to say no. You know what I'm saying? What she deserves, if she's a good woman, is a nigga with a backbone. Dead ass. Be a man. You think paying some bills or all the bills and buying all this shit will get you love and respect? It doesn't. It doesn't. So I can't blame for how she moved. I blame me. If I was on my square, no, I was on my square, but I was easily pushed off. I allowed that to happen. Me. If I'm on my square and I stay on my square like I did in the beginning, none of that would have happened. Excuse me. But I'll say this though. I doubt if she's married. I doubt if she's married. She has some other things going on too. You know what I mean? Unless she's, gotten some therapy and can, realized a few things. But I don't put none of the blame on her. That was all on me. Right? So I'll chill on her and bring up my next defense. Because we're talking about paperwork, right? Talking about paperwork. All right, so my second wife, which was actually before, right? Yeah. My second wife's name was or is, right? I want to say I put up with so much shit with her, but again, at the end of the day, it was my fault. It's a man's job to stand firm in the square. You ask questions and observe. And had I observed, I would have seen that she was a fun girl, not the one you cuff. Military brat. I didn't even really speak on her in the love doc. I kind of just touched on it real brief and got off it. You know what I mean? She wasn't passionate about nothing but a bunch of nothing. You know what I mean? She was good at playing cards and playing pool. She was the fun girl. High school dropout. Not that that's the worst thing in the world. But she dropped out of her GED course. You know what I mean? And of course, this is something that I would find out much later. I didn't really ask no questions, really. Nothing beneath the surface. You know what I mean? Again, if I was on it, I would have seen some things, eh? And not to get all in this, because this can get sensitive, but she had 4 kids and had custody of none of them. You know what I'm saying? A child is usually with the mother if she's not married. You know what I mean? Most times. And of course, unless of course the child is going to live with the father, because, say like it's a little boy and he needs to be with his dad. You know what I mean? He's sent to live with him because he needs structure or something like that. Or if the mother's in the military and she's deployed or not stable or on drugs. And of course, there's other cases too. You know what I mean? Hey, sometimes the mother's just out simply having fun. You know what I mean? Pussy was decent though. Simptown County is crazy though, man. And that's all I'm going to really say about that. That's all I'm going to say about that. But listen, my worst offense and one that I'm really, really embarrassed about, but let's do it. Let's do it. The one that I'm really embarrassed about is when I was with my wife. Now this is after, the other one. Yeah, after my wife. With my wife, I was still committing crimes against myself. My wife's name is again, I started off on my square, but somehow I turned on myself. This one right here is rough. It's seriously rough. Started off on my square. The year in which this major infraction occurred was either in 2011 or 2012. I had hollered at my sister before I did this pod, and She said it's gonna check back on me later, but I'm podding, so I know it was one of those years. One of those. Yeah. I think. Anyway, my paternal grandpop had transitioned. Okay? I remember my last words to him was, "I love you, Granddad." Yeah, it was, "I love you, Granddad." And his response was, "I love you too, Junior." Heavy energy, like he knew that like he was on his way. You know what I'm saying? Like he knew he was on his way to transition. Those were my last words to him and his last words to me. Not everybody gets the opportunity to say, to tell a loved one, "I love you," before they go. And vice versa. The services were planned, and I needed to travel, of course. So before I did that, my wife at the time hit me with, "So you just gonna go to the funeral and leave me here by myself to buy all the gifts for the kids?" So again, I'm by myself. I mean, you do what you gonna do, but this is back when I indulged in that shit like Christmas and all that stuff. But that's what I got hit with. And listen, man. I didn't go to my grandpa's funeral. And that's something I gotta live with. How did I justify it? She a good woman. She deserves to be with a good man. She's special. She can't be about herself doing that stuff. Cause she's special. She a good woman. She deserves to be with a good man. She's special. Look, man. She would have been getting them fucking gifts by herself anyway. I wasn't getting up on no Black Friday anyway. That was something she did with her fucking friends anyway. What a fucking dummy, man. What a fucking simp. Yo, my lady now, she be like, "Oh, so you decided to start putting your foot down with me, huh? Them bitches got it all. I gotta sit here and listen to you tell me blah, 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 and blah, 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 blickety, blickety, blah." And you damn right. You damn right. You gonna get a man, not a simp. Okay? You gonna get an alpha all the way through, not just in the fucking beginning. You know what I'm saying? You got a man that loves himself. Instead of searching possibly for a mother's love in you. Therapy worked. But the work is infinite. Look, man. It's hard being a man. You want to be assertive, but not a brute. You know what I mean? You want to be chivalrous, but not a predictable simp. And any woman that says, "I want me a simp. I want a man that's going to worship me," and all that bullshit. All that bum shit. Any woman that says that ain't never had that type dude. And she wants it bad. You know what I'm saying? And if she's single in saying that, it's probably because she ran over his ass. Because if you had that, why y'all ain't stay together? So it has to be because she's never had that. I love women, man. I love women. I love feminine energy. But as men, we got to stay on our square with masculine energy. I ain't never going back to Simp County. Never. Hey, it's not as bad as Simptown Penitentiary. Them niggas is wild. Yo, James Evans was broke, but he provided structure and protection. Remember that episode when Thelma brought home that 40-year-old dude played by Lou Gossett? A daddy needed to be there. Remember with JJ, with Mad Dog? I think they was trying to get him to join Satan Knights. Daddy needed to be there. And was. Michael with that game that was supposed to be for the brothers. Daddy was there, providing that structure and protection. That's proof positive right there that a man's value, a man still has value in the household. We're more than just a source of provision. And that wasn't a reach. That wasn't a reach. And shout out to Esther Rowe for holding it down. I read a while back that she told the producers of the show that she wouldn't take the show unless she had a husband on the show. Because they originally wanted her to be like a single mother or some shit. She wouldn't take it unless she had a husband, unless the children had a father. You know what I'm saying? May she rest well. That was some real shit. Word. But, yeah, man. Get out of Simp County. Get out of Simp County. Listen, man. Don't allow no situation to have you looking at yourself in the mirror, not even liking who you see because your money ain't all the way right. Go ahead and you should do whatever you can to see to it that you can make all that you can make. Dead ass. But that's not all you're worth. You're worth more than that. You know what I'm saying? And so many times, as men, we're made to feel inadequate because we don't measure up to a particular standard. There should be a standard, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. But money isn't all that you bring. It's not all that you bring. I'm out of here, man. But listen, it's time you got out the Simp County jail, man. And free yourself. You know what I mean? Therapy. If you dealt with any of the things I dealt with, get you some therapy. Read you some books. Man up. You know what I'm saying? Man up. I'm the God Rashidi. And this is Hoodies, man. It's not as bad as the Simptown Penitentiary, though. Them niggas is wild.
I don't even know what a lane is.
Bro, ain't nobody calling.
You know box neither.
Bro, ain't nobody calling motherfucking phone.
Welcome to Hoodies the podcast. We go deep with the
Bro, ain't
blast.
nobody calling.